What is going on, everybody? I'm back with just a short little video. I wanted to show you something that's very interesting. If one of your characters is low on health and has a passive that gets triggered by healing, the Syndicate buffs will actually do that for you. I'm hoping that Baba Yaga is going to show it, because the last couple times it hasn't, and it didn't this time. I promise you it does happen. I'll keep the video rolling just to see if I can capture it on one of the other fights. Syndicate buffs are amazing. They just took Baba Yaga from like 1300 health to almost 3000, and she doesn't have anything, no healing artifacts, nothing like that on it. One of the other things that I've been toying around with is using Ing to boost Baba Yaga. So as you can see right now, she's doing almost 6200 damage with one blast. Guarantees overcharge. Then I just do it again. Now we're sitting at 6800. Do it again. One more time. 7,500. I've gotten it up to 9,000. Over 9,000, right? Yeah, no, on one of the raids that I just did. It's funny because I'm trying to show this particular thing in a video, and it seems like whenever I try to do it, it just doesn't happen, which is really frustrating. But yeah, Jenny and Malikha and probably Ing would all benefit from this. I've seen it with Jenny way more than I've seen it with Baba Yaga. Man, I'm really sorry, guys. I thought for sure I'd be able to capture this on film, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen, like at all. Nice little critical. Now you notice that the attack priority will and always be mages. None of that has changed since the last time I've done any updates. I've seen a couple of curious things with some of the newer monsters. I might be able to make a video on that here in just a little bit, but let's see how this goes down. So he's gonna go after, yep, go after Yaga as soon as he does that. But this match is over. There we go. Yeah, so in particular, Josef, if you use his blind rage, I think is what it's called, and you have him in defense, he does not fire. So for anyone who spent a lot of money on him, reason being, I believe, is because from an AI standpoint, he can target anybody, including people on your team, which is kind of a neat little twist. Maybe that has something to do with, you know, if you've got a passive like Phoenix, let's say, and you wanted it to trigger, you could attack him and get him down below that 25% health threshold so that he heals, you know, so that would make sense. Or, you know, people wearing mantles, that would help as well. I mean, I haven't really messed around with it a whole bunch, but yeah, Josef's kind of a no-go when it comes to defense unless you're using his other one. I don't remember what it's called. It's like Compromised Flesh or something like that. Okay, sorry guys, I'm just trying to burn through this so that I can hopefully show you one of these passive triggers. Oh yeah, that's right, I can't do it, he's cloaked. So at the upper end here, like I said, I'm in League 2. This is typically what you see. You know, this is kind of a throwaway raid that I'm doing right now. Most raids we do now are around 20,000 for the pot. There's only a couple of light syndicates that are up here. I try and mix up what element I'm in, but it's becoming difficult just because as far as you know, players go, there aren't very many that are as high up as the group that I play with. All right, let's put you in there, get you down, knock you out. So as far as recommendations go for me, you know, most of my characters, I'd say, that I'm using competitively, let's call it competitively, around 600 plus overcharge. My biggest ones are, you know, 1100, 1200 overcharge, and that's just because I've been playing for as long as I have. But come on, let's do this. I want to see that thing go off. I saw it and I was like, whoa, that's so cool that it works. Okay, well, as you can see, it's not very reliable, but I promise you I did see it. I'm hoping, you know, I'll do a couple more battles and maybe it'll fire off here. But yeah, so we started Shadow Mafia, it was like a year and a half ago, At that point, dark wasn't really prevalent. They're very difficult to level up. They're not in story until later on. So when we made that decision, we actually wanted to do fire at first, mainly because Legends at the time was one of the best syndicates out there, and I think the founder at that point didn't want to have to fight Legends, but after a couple of talks, we decided, hey, we'll do Dark instead, and I'm really glad that we did. Dark's a lot of fun, even if I can't show you what I saw the other day. And then after that, shortly afterwards, we made Dark Collective, and my whole vision was that we were going to have all the elements in League 1, all the elements in League 2. Didn't quite pan out that way. League 2's become somewhat of ultra overcharge. Not a whole bunch of people move into League 2 willingly, which is fine with me. I'm able to log on daily, do a couple of things, and then log out. It's really, from what I've seen, at least in my group, because we're a small group, we only have about 8 people that do League 2. Probably got over 100 that are doing League 1, but with League 2, there's a lot of team oriented strategy that has to happen, especially when we only have 8 people. I realize that League 1 is like that as well, especially now, because you don't have any overcharge. So you do kind of have to work together if you want to do a full sweep. I mean, especially when you're going up against 36 defenses. And really it just comes down to smart artifact. There we go, see? That's what I was talking about. Awesome. Okay, I was able to get it on film, so I can stop this video and be happy with it. So it does occur. It seems like the percentage in which it happens is super, super small. I just got excited because I saw it once and I thought, okay, this must happen all the time. Apparently it doesn't, which is unfortunate. Alright, let me go ahead and do that. Let me get you down. Let's get Baron out of here. That's always a hit. Baron's always a hit. Baron's a great monster. He's ineffective in the sense that he only targets one, so it's not like he can do a carpet blast of all kinds of people. But highly, highly effective in League 2, especially if you bring him along, if there's like a high light defense build that you're going up against. Very effective because of that passive. Some people put Olivon on him. I don't do that because he's not that strong. But his passive doing 40% damage to a light build works out in your favor quite a bit. I mean, really, at this point in League 2, if you want to be successful at it, overcharge definitely helps. Yes, there it goes again. Saw it twice now. Overcharge is definitely something that you want. It's not a deal breaker as much as some people think it is, because you do have a lot of syndicates like this that are really not overpowered. But if you were going up against some of the heavier ones, most builds now seem to be, you kind of put like the watch on the healer, and that way they're protected from Olivanting, and then from there you would bring like a Baron, because he does damage when he dies. A lot of people put Sharer on him, so that way when he dies he silences everybody else. Excuse me. And then you would put somebody massive, like like for me it'd be Orlok, because he's 1200, I think, 1200 overcharge, somewhere in there. So at that point you're doing 4000 damage a hit, and he's got 8000 hit points with Syndicate buffs, somewhere in there. My Fates with Syndicate buffs is now sitting at 10,000 hit points, so that's a lot of fun. I was surprised. Most of the raiding that I do, I don't use Dark anymore, but again, for the purpose of this video, I wanted to show you that those passives do trigger. There's still little things like that, little things that I'm finding out here and there, which is kind of fun, because after a year plus of playing this, I thought I've kind of seen it all. And I've seen it before, but it wasn't anything that that registered that this would have, especially with the stacked Syndicate buffs. That's what's kind of crazy. Anyways, that's it for this video. I hope you guys are going to have a good day. I'm going to have a good day, and I'll see you next time.